So for Mystic Spring Meadows SMP episode 2, I have already recorded the footage, but there's no sound at all, just none. And I can't even be like, oh, you know, oh, the recording corrupted, or oh, silly me, forgot to like plug in my microphone. No, it was intentional. Essentially, I was offered a dragon egg and I was like, oh yeah, I'll take a dragon egg. I love a dragon egg. I know exactly what that means and what they are and what they do. Not a clue. Genuinely not a clue. I don't play Minecraft with mods. I don't know what this mod is. So he told me to get my ass on the server. So I was like, okay. I logged on and the first thing I did was try to cook my food. In trying to cook my food, I ended up just pissing all over the vampire hunter's campfire, which is great. Dismo asked me to meet at spawn so he could give me the gift. So I obviously said yes. I got the materials together, made a boat and left in the direction of spawn. And about halfway there, he insulted my ping, and to my surprise, it was in fact horrible, atrocious. I don't know why it was that bad. We then found out that we were both from the UK, which was interesting. Dismo then implied that I was in fact too weak to survive on the server and said that he would get me stuff. I received the dragon eggs and I then tried to show that my face was in the middle of the board at the SMP and destroyed the spawn. I just broke it. I broke the whole thing. I don't know how I managed it. Actually, I know exactly how I managed it. I right-clicked and flooded the place. So Dismo fixed it, but it's still a little bit broken. I've decided, you know, I'll make myself useful. I'll go do something. And in making myself useful, I mean only useful for myself, because last episode I forgot to get my starter loot. So I went across the bridge, went down into this little cave thing, and I got my starter loot. I absolutely just wrecked this skeleton shit, and then Dismo became my sugar daddy and offered to bring me a whole inventory worth of stuff, and then I died to a zombie. It couldn't have been going worse for me. I spawned back with the vampire hunters and then started going to spawn. Decided not to. I gave my coordinates and just swam ashore, but apparently the coordinates were not good enough, so I had to send them twice. Dismo then found me, luckily, not too sure how, and I made a week's worth of progress in literally 2 seconds. It took quite a lot of sorting of my inventory to get everything not horrendous. I put my eggs in a cave because where else would you find dragon eggs? I then expanded the cave so my dragons could have a lovely home, and then they hatched and started dying because the home was not in fact big enough. How I managed that, again, listen, no one knows, no one cares. Moving on. I think tamed the dragons and I made them sit on the gravel, and the Aether dragon is dying. Now the Aether dragon was my favorite because I like the K-pop group aespa and I then decided it would be a really good venture to get some quartz. Why, I don't know, but I did anyway. And then I decided I in fact wanted a brick house, so I needed some clay. I then went on a hunt for said clay and found a lovely area, but then decided, oh shit, I've got to bring all my stuff and my 2 dragons. I then discovered that dragons can in fact not swim, and my Aether dragon died. So I brought my 1 remaining dragon to my new home and put it in a nice little safety hole, or as I call it, a dragon garage. I then expanded the dragon garage for spaciousness, and I found clay. I then decided that my lovely brick house needed fancy windows, so I looked at the recipe for the fancy windows, and then looked at the recipe for the recipe for fancy windows, and then looked at the recipe for the recipe for the recipe of the fancy windows.
Bad boy, my recipe?
And decided I need quite a lot of supplies. So I started getting the supplies for like 2 seconds, and in nearly dying many times decided, you know what, that's enough today, and I logged off. So that was the amazing amount of progress that I made in episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay.